It's I think it's the gentleman's turn, isn't it? This guy looks sharp right here in the corner. I mean, that's a serious looking coat. Huh? That's a good looking coat. Don't worry, I'll call on somebody who's just wearing a suit at some point.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Franklin Gochi from Cameroon. We're very grateful for the American leadership in our fight against violent extremism and the military response. So my question is on what kind of engagement, what kind of support we can expect from you in building resilient communities, especially along the Sahel where we are grappling with those issues.
Well, this is something that is very important. Look, the sources of violence around the world are multiple, and it's important for us to recognize that, sadly, the human race has found excuses to kill each other for all sorts of reasons. In the continent of Africa, oftentimes it's been along ethnic and tribal lines. It has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with, you speak a slightly different language than me, or you look just a little bit different. In Northern Ireland, it was religious. In other places, it just has to do with trying to gain power, or a majority group trying to impose its will on a minority group. So there are all kinds of reasons for violence. But one of the phenomena that we are now seeing is a very specific promotion of violent extremism that oftentimes is twisting and distorting, and I think ultimately defying the edicts of one of the world's greatest religions, Islam. And it's being exported and turbocharged through social media and groups like Al-Shabaab and ISIL and Boko Haram. And the question is, how do we fight back against those ideologies in a way that allows us still to be true to the values of peace and tolerance and due process and rule of law? So the United States is obviously committed to this fight against terrorism. And we are working with countries and partnering with countries all around the world to go after, whether it's Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram. But what we've also said is, in order to defeat these extremist ideologies, it can't just be military, police, and security. It has to be reaching into communities that feel marginalized and making sure that they feel that they're heard, making sure that the young people in those communities have opportunity. And that's why it's so important to partner with civil society organizations in countries throughout Africa and around the world who can reach young people before ISIL reaches them, before Al-Shabaab reaches them, and inoculate them from the notion that somehow the solution to their alienation or the source of future opportunity for them is to go kill people. And that's why when I was in Kenya, for example, and I did a town hall meeting there, I emphasized what I had said to President Kenyatta. Be a partner with the civil society groups. Because too often there's a tendency because what the extremist groups want to do is they want to divide. That's what terrorism is all about. The notion is that you scare societies, further polarizes them. The government reacts by further discriminating against a particular group. That group then feels it has no political outlet, peacefully to deal with their grievances. And that suppression can oftentimes accelerate even more extremism. And that's why reaching out to civil society groups, clergy, and listening and asking, okay, what is it that we need to do in order to make sure that young people feel that they can succeed? What is it that we need to do to make sure that they feel that they're fully a part of this country and are full citizens and have full rights? How do we do that? Bringing them in to plan and design messages and campaigns that embrace the diversity of these countries. Those are the things that are so important to do. We still have to gain intelligence and engage in effective military and police campaigns to eradicate those who are so brainwashed that all you can do is incapacitate them.